Welcome to the Dalen Show. What's going on, everybody? So good to see you. So good to be with you. I'm Dalen Flowers, your host. If you're new, please hit that subscribe button really quick. It's free and it allows us to keep having conversations in the future just like this. First of all, really quick, I hope everyone is doing well. I know there's so much going on in the world and our country within, so many different things. And I really just want to give my prayers and love to the entire country and this place. And these people really need healing. So my prayers and thoughts are with everyone in this country right now. I'm super excited about this episode today, y'all. I have really manifested this for a very long time. And so to finally be patient and persistent with it and to see it happen really, really, really brings a light of positivity to my life. So please welcome today my pastor, Concord Church, Mr. Bryan Carter. Woohoo!
Hey, man, it's an honor to be here. Thank you, Dalen, for having me. I'm honored to be with you today.
Of course, Pastor. I'm so grateful that you're here, and I appreciate you giving me some time out your busy schedule, which is kind of going to be the direction I go with this conversation with you today. But if you don't mind, real quickly, if I could ask you before we kind of get into the topic, briefly, for people that may not know a lot about you, Pastor Carter, could you give a quick overview about who you are, what you do, and maybe just a little bit of your upbringing as well?
Okay, sure. My name is Bryan Carter. I live in Dallas, Texas. I am a pastor I get to be Dalen's pastor at Concord Church here in Dallas. I've served here for 22 years. I'm a native of Oklahoma City, went to Oklahoma State University, got a bachelor's in education, and then went on to get a master's in Christian education from Dallas Seminary, and went into ministry. My passion has always been about helping people. So whether I was teaching school for 2 years before I entered ministry and served the last 22 years, it's all been about helping people and helping our community. And so that's incredibly important to me. I get to serve our congregation here in the Dallas area. We're also very involved in our city and our community. I also lead Harmony CDC, which is an outreach that really works to move people to being fully empowered. And so it helps to transform both communities and families. And so we do that through our food pantry, through our counseling services, through our job training, and through our housing program. And so that's part of what I do. I also serve on a number of boards, both in the city and then nationally, both centered around how to impact the residents of Southern Dallas, as well as how to advance the faith throughout the nation and world. So and I'm also a proud husband to my wife for the last 27 years, and I have 3 kids. My oldest 2, one is a graduate of Spelman, political science major. Another one's a junior at Spelman, and then my son is a senior in high school. So
yes, sir.
That's a little bit about myself, man. A little bit. I can do more if you need me to.
No, you're good. I think there are literally, I feel like, a billion things that we could talk about together, and hopefully in the future I'm able to get you back on and talk about some different things as well. But I think there's a collection of things that I want to go to with this. But what's fascinating to me about you, and I'm kind of noticing this at 21. And for people that don't know my story, my mom actually lives in Dallas, but I go to Ole Miss in Mississippi. So I get to be here with Pastor Carter sometimes, and then sometimes I'm away with my other church and also trying to stay virtually with Concord. But I noticed from you just the amount of things you do. And when I say that in terms of being a pastor of Concord, but also being a father and husband, and that means sometimes going to Atlanta to help your daughters move in, or, traveling to different conferences around the country. I kind of want to start in asking, how do you, with all the things on your plate, all the things on your schedule, kind of come back and say, okay, I need to be able to still do this, to be Bryan Carter, to be the person I want to be the husband and father that I need to be? How, with everything that you kind of have always going on, how do you kind of find time for yourself to stay mobilized and stay focused on the things, the task as well?
That's a great question. So I think every person needs a vision for their life. I think it starts foundationally with you saying, okay, who do I want to be, and who's God kind of called me to be, right? And so I think it starts there. So every year I kind of think I have a dream and a vision. I have a vision kind of where I want to be. And what I put together is what I call a life plan. And in that life plan, it kind of lays out both from my faith, from my family, my what I want to do professionally, my finances, my health.
Mhm.
And so it's like a 6-part plan that I've been doing for like 20 years. Just, I mean, people can call it goal setting, but that's basically what it is. It's goal setting for that. For that, I asked the Lord, how do you want me to use the next year of my life?
Yes, sir.
I kind of go through those categories. And so what that means is I'm putting in the stuff me and my wife, this is a priority, what my kids have going on, and then what I may have going on both in the city, but even on a national basis. So that helps me to stay centered so that I don't get, lost in so many opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many different things you can pursue, but for me, I try to prioritize those things that I feel like make the most impact and that fall into my passion. There are times when I just do stuff or serve because I'm trying to learn and grow,
Mm-hmm.
and it may not be my passion, but I'm always trying to ask myself through this grid, what fits for Bryan, what aligns with Bryan, and is this something I need to be engaged in? And so, and then the other piece of that too, right? As a pastor, as a faith leader, I'm also trying to care for my congregation. So there's always things that are going to come up there I can't quite plan for, but I do the best I can between myself or our staff to be able to be responsive. But yeah, I try to ask, you got to figure, I think you're going to need to know where you're going, what your vision is for your life. And then you shape your life around that vision. That's how I think you are able to find some fulfillment in life. Otherwise, you're just chasing a lot of different things.
Yes, sir. If you could jump back into the shoes of you in college. So pretend you're college Bryan Carter right now. I know I'm taking you through a long time, but to pretend you're college Bryan Carter right now. And what advice would you want to give people like myself in college, your daughter, based on the things that you were able to experience and learn throughout your time in college? Because I know I do my research just a little bit, Pastor Carter. I know that you had a very unique college journey and you went through a lot of struggles and things of that nature. So what advice would you want to give if you were speaking to a group of college kids in terms of how to balance college life, but as well build the right things while in college to help sustain a healthy, marriage one day, the life of being an adult? What advice would you want to give to maybe a college student?
Dale, I'm so proud of you, man. That's a phenomenal question. Got this little glare. Let me slide over here. I'm gonna slide over here to get rid of this little glare. So,
and by the way, I wasn't trying to season you by saying a long time either.
No, I didn't take it that way. I understand. It's just a few years ago. So I guess the first thing I would say is college was an amazing time in my life. It was an amazing time for a number of ways. One, the exposure, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because you're learning, you're trying, the independence that you get, the exposure to learning how to lead organizations. So we had our staff retreat with our team. I've got a team of probably 60 full-time people in our church. Mm-hmm. And so we were planning for the retreat. And I just had a moment. I said, I remember planning in college, I remember planning my first retreat. I said, we're going to do this. We're going to do these team building. We're going to look at our goals, look at our calendar. And I had a moment. We had the retreat in August. And I thought about August of my sophomore, junior year. So I think college is meant to expose you. So I would say in college, find something that you enjoy, whether it's SGA, whether it's FCA, whether it's intramurals, find something that you enjoy and just learn, lead, get involved. I would say that first. I would say two, invest in your relationships, right? Your friendships, all those things are incredibly important to make time to not just stay in a dorm room, but to make friends, build relationships. I'd say that's number two. I'd say number three, work on your faith. Work on your faith and your relationship with God. I was involved with a lot of Bible studies. I led a Bible study. It was just a way for me. Now, mind you, I was struggling. I was struggling with partying. I was struggling with women. I was struggling. And so I was in the Bible study to help me get on the right path and to help pull me back in. But I would say that. So those are three things I would say. And then I would say the last piece I would say is don't be afraid to try. Try the presidency, try multiple. I did an RA. I was president. So for me, college was an amazing time when I was able to find out what was Bryan Carter, what did I enjoy, what was I good at, like I said, try some stuff. If it fails, that's okay.
Yes,
I
sir.
tried a lot of things. I tried to be the treasurer in one organization. I was terrible. I just couldn't keep track of everything. The advisor said, "This is not for you." But I did become vice president and president. That was a little better. Strategy, recruiting, volunteering, organizing events. So a lot of what I do today, it started in college. A little bit started in high school, but college was where I shaped out and learned how to lead, how to make a strategy, how to motivate people, how to hire, make key decisions for people in different places, how to plan for the future. College was my favorite season. I learned so much. Made a lot of mistakes too, but yeah, it was a great time to help shape you into the man or the woman you want to become.
Yeah. I love that because, I've experienced so much. I'm a senior now, and I say that being involved and exposed to, like you said, so many different things is amazing. But as well, I say college has been some of the hardest 3 going on 4 years of my life, but they've also been 3 going on 4 of the best years of my life as well.
Yeah.
And so it has taught me so many valuable things about relationships, my relationship with God, and how to kind of elevate the priority of different things in my life. So staying on that kind of college faith topic, which you kind of just mentioned throughout that, in a way, what would you want to also say to someone? Because I say this, looking back on freshman year very prominently for me, I struggled with my faith, new environment, new state, away from mom, and wasn't like in a way being forced to go to church every Sunday. I found myself not being attentive in church when I needed to be, not reading my Bible how I should have been, not praying how I should have been. And over time, that gradually got better. But I feel like there's a space of when you, in a way, turn 18 and you kind of feel that adulthood for the first time, things change. So for you, what was that transition like, in terms of graduating high school, going to college, testing your faith, so many things being tested? What was that transition in your life like for that moment?
Yeah, I think those are normal parts of life, that you leave home, you become your own person, and you have no rules, so you get to set your own expectations, and it can be a very kind of challenging, not challenging, but a very different season.
Yeah.
So I remember searching for faith and trying to figure out what does it look like for me, right? I know what it looked like for my parents, but I had to figure out what did it look like for me. How did I live that out? So I saw a variety of people on campus, some that said, "Hey, we're not listening to hip hop. We're getting rid of all of our hip hop music," to another one that didn't care. So I saw all these extremes, and I was like, I don't know if I really like that. I don't know if I really like that either. So I was like, okay, somewhere in the middle is somewhere where what I begin to realize part of the faith that I developed over time was in me. Like I just knew I needed help from Jesus. Like I knew I couldn't make it. It may have been when I struggled in some of my classes and I was not doing well and was on probation. I was like, man, I need help. And it probably was I was going through making some tough decisions. And then we went through some hard time. We lost one of my really good friends got killed in a car accident in college. Mm-hmm. And then another one of our good friends got killed. We had a couple of really tragic situations.
Yes, sir.
And man, sometimes when you go through tragedy and you realize how short life is, and you realize my faith began to grow some, because I began to realize, man, it's not just about me, right? It's not just about what I want. There's a higher purpose. There's a higher calling that's on my life, and I really need God in my life. And so for me, I can identify freshman year, I'm the man. I can do this. I can figure it out on my own. Yeah. I begin to realize quickly, you need him. You can't find your identity in fraternities or in success or in positions or any of that stuff. It really needs to come out of your identity in Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that, has kind of caught my eye doing some research and just following you on socials is you find the importance of working out and taking care of your body, which is essentially helping take care of your mental health. Why is that so important to you? But as well, what benefits have you seen in your life because of the consistency that you've been able to continue growing within the gym life that you have?
Man, when I was your age, I played on 3 or 4 intramural teams. I was on the flag football team. I did
No,
the
this is gonna work.
basketball. Man, we had a ball. I was on all the teams. One time, you were actually supposed to be on one team, but I don't know how I ended up on 3. I don't know how that worked out, but I had a ball. We even made it to play in the championship at the basketball arena on campus, and I slept through the championship game. That was the Lord just punishing me for being on so many teams, but I was determined to get there to the game. But, I used to love sports in high school, but I couldn't. I wasn't really good enough to play at college level, so intramurals became my thing. And then once I got my first job, like we didn't have time. I got married, and so I didn't get to play anymore. I got kids, so I missed it. And then as I've gotten older, I've kind of gotten back to it, and I love it. It's fun. I love working out in the gym, going. I love running. Like, it's fun to me now. I miss it sometimes when I don't get to do it, but it just, for health purposes, back when I was your age, I did it just because I wanted to. When I get to my season of life, you don't have a choice. Like, the doctor go tell you got to do it. Your body won't respond right if you don't. So it's like the benefits of dealing with stress and sleeping better and dealing with tension and for your overall health. It's a necessity at this point. And one of my mentors used to tell me, he said, listen, he said, are you working out? I said, no, I don't have time. He said, you will one day. Just keep living and you'll have to. So, Dalen, I want you to stay with it, man. Keep doing whatever. Keep your routine going. Don't let go.
I'm going to try not to, honestly, and you may not believe this, seeing you when you do, get the chance to go work out or post, when you post that stuff, it's like, okay, if I see Pastor Carter doing it, I need to lock in and do right too. So when I'm ever in those moments where I'm not doing right in the gym, I try my best because of you sometimes. So I appreciate you for doing that and being honest too. I know some people your age may not admit to it anymore, but it's good. It's a good realization. One of the things that's evident to me is your importance of being a father and a husband. And I think that's huge for me, but I think it's huge for a church family to see that their leader is not just, a man of God, but also a man of the household and a man that has great love for his family. So for you personally, Pastor Carter, what does being a husband and a father mean? But as well, in a way, I would like to ask you, what are some of the things, and I know this may be a lot for one question, but what are some of the things that maybe your parents instilled in you that help you become a good father and a good husband?
Oh, man. Wow, that's a great question. I was blessed to watch my parents growing up, and I learned so much from my mom and my dad about family. It wasn't perfect, but my dad, man, he was super involved in our lives. I mean, he was a hard worker. He'd come home and do the yard, cut the yard, and we weren't super involved in a lot of stuff, but he was just present. And I saw him lead at our church, and I saw him really lead in our community. He started the Neighborhood Watch Association when crime was happening bad in our neighborhood. He would help do little league teams. He would help young men get jobs. Like, he was a leader. And for me, that's where I felt like I began to learn my early lessons about leadership, that it's really about taking initiative, being involved. And so that's kind of what I've tried to live my life after, is watching my mom and my dad, both with their faith and both in our neighborhood. And so that's why when I wanted to start my career, I mean, for whatever reason, I just wanted to help people. That was my goal. So whether it was teaching school, whether it was in ministry, I just wanted to help. I wanted to help people move from one place to the other. And so for family, it's always been important to me. So when me and my wife got married, right after college, we were college sweethearts. And then we had our children. And so, man, it's been a greatest joy. For me, I think husband to me is just someone that loves their wife, protects her, serves her, cares for her. And that's what I try to do for her. I love her, and I try to spend time with her, and we get to enjoy serving together at the church, but then we get to enjoy just doing life together. She likes sports, and so that helped. We got to watch the game on the weekend sometime. We get to travel together sometimes, and then we get to really just support our kids. And our kids, man, since the time they got along, one of my mentors gave me the best piece of advice. My wife was pregnant at the time with our first child, and I asked him, I said, what advice would you give for a new dad? And he said 2 words: be there. He said, that's my advice to you as a dad, is to be there. And those words have stuck with me since the time my daughter was in my wife's belly. He said, be there. So that's what I've tried to be. And it hasn't been perfect, but I've done my best to try to support them through their activities and through their events. And as they pursue their sports, and then they go off to college. And then my older daughter was on the dance team in college. So that meant we had a college athlete. So we were at all the games and stuff. And so, yeah, it's been a journey, but it's been fun kind of watching it. So, then I found too, as the older they get, like, it's been more fun. Like, our daughter made the step team at her school, so we get to go watch her do the step show. So it's been kind of cool. This season, I never knew what this season would look like.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I'm really grateful. It's really fun. I mean, we have our challenges along the way and all that, but I try to find the joy in just watching them grow up in the season of their lives.
Yes, sir. I really want to do a deep dive, if possible, because I would like to know, when you're getting ready for a Sunday service, throughout that week, how long does it take to prepare for what you're going to present on Sunday to the church? What goes into figuring out, okay, this is what I want to talk about this week? How long, how many days, how many hours maybe do you spend working on that topic and figure out exactly what you want to talk about? What's kind of the behind the scenes that people may not understand or know, in terms of, okay, I see you on Sunday, but I don't know what goes on throughout the week to build up for this word, how you prepare for this word, how you found this word, how you're going to deliver this word. What goes into that preparation for you every week?
Sure. So for me, it starts with kind of an annual plan for the year. So I'm trying to think, probably sometime in the summer, between July and between end of September or end of October, I'm going to try to put together a sermon plan for the next year.
Okay.
So sometimes I can get 6 months, 12 months. If I can get 12, 6 to 9, that's a winner. Yeah. So like for now, I'm in a plan that will lead us through the end of the year. And so that helps first. That way I already know what's going to be preached on this date. Right. So that helps me. So this weekend, I'm in Acts chapter 16, the 11 through 15, verse 11 through 15. And so after I know that, that's the first part. So probably the Sunday night, after that prior Sunday, I'm gonna start reading it and get into my head. Monday, I'm gonna spend maybe 2 hours. It's what we in our field, it's called exegesis, which really means just really understanding, unpacking, researching it. I'm gonna do about 2 hours on Monday. And then most of my days start at about 7:30 in the office. And so I'm going to work from 7:30 to 11 most days, specifically on that sermon, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So I'm going to work those 3 days. I'm going to work some more, just kind of studying it on using research and tools and looking at different versions and commentaries and dictionaries, all that kind of research, Monday, Tuesday. By midday on Wednesday, I want to start writing my first draft. By Thursday, I want to have a final draft so I can start rehearsing and preparing. And then on Friday, I'll probably put in another 2 hours reviewing it, practicing it, and all that. Saturday, I'll put in probably another 2 hours to review it again. And then Sunday morning, I'll get up maybe like at 4, and I'll put in another 2 hours just reviewing it. So it's a process that, I may not put in 3 or 4 hours every day, but typically about 15 hours. 15, 20 hours to me is what typically I invest each week to really be ready for Sunday. Because the other part of my time is used for meetings and other things that have to take place. But 15 to 20 hours is generally how much time I need to get it to where I need it. And I'm a manuscript, so I'm going to write out every word I say. Yeah. This helps me think through, get my thoughts clear in terms of what I'm trying to say and communicate. And then when I get to the pulpit, when I get to on Sundays, I may use it, I may not, but it just at least helps me get everything out.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy to hear that because again, you do so much. I feel like you're on a flight every week. You're traveling somewhere different. You're at a different conference. You're at this place. You're at that place, and so it's insane to hear that. But it also, for me personally, motivates me because if I see that you're able to do this, then I feel like we all are able to do this in some sort of manner. So I want to ask you just really quickly. What do you do outside of work when you have time to free up, to be free, to have some fun for relaxation? What does Bryan Carter's free time look like when he does find some time to have?
When I get free time, I'm just hanging with family and friends. I love to do that, going out to eat somewhere with my wife or hanging out with my kids or with my friends. We may go play golf. I enjoy doing that. I enjoy just relaxing, watching. I enjoy Netflix. I got some good shows I've been watching. So I enjoy watching that. I enjoy reading, right? And just reading different books, preferably nonfiction is another thing I enjoy doing. I enjoy traveling. So I enjoy if we can get a good trip in or get a weekend away. We had a chance a weekend ago to go visit some friends in Los Angeles. So I enjoy that. So those are the things that kind of recharge me. Rest. Exercise still is a good thing to me. I really do enjoy time with family and friends, reading, and then I still enjoy, and then sports. I do indoor sports. I try to go to a few games for the Cowboys and the Mavericks throughout the year. That's always fun, a great escape. My family loves that. So yeah, those are kind of my outlets that kind of help me to recharge and that are fun to me. I don't have a big hobby. Golf is there, but I'm just not good. It's hard because I can't get to the level where I want.
Trust me, I understand. Trust me, I understand that one. I've been trying to figure that out for a long time on the golf course. So I understand that one. Look, Pastor, I know I got to get you out of here soon, but just a few more questions that I want to ask. And off the top of my head, because again, like I said, I don't know when we're going to be able to sit down and do this again. In the best manner that you can, could you describe Pastor E.K. Bailey and who he was as a person and the impact that he had on your life and your career?
Man, that's pretty cool. So Dr. E.K. Bailey was the founding pastor of this church. He pastored this church for 28 years. For 28 years, he led this church, established in 1975. I met him the year I graduated from high school. I moved to Dallas, met him, and just began a relationship with him. And he began to mentor me. And so he was my mentor. He was my pastor. He was a role model. He coached me through so many things before the Lord would then call him home in 2003. And so yeah, but he wasn't that just for me. Like, he was a national voice.
Right.
Like he had a national impact in terms of conferences that he started to help train and equip preachers and pastors in terms of how to preach well, but also how to lead churches, effective churches. And so he has been classified as one of the key Black preachers of his day. Like, he was one of the first to introduce staffing, one of the first to really do a preaching conference of this, of all preaching, one of the first to do like these church growth.
Right.
So, I mean, he was a pioneer, a leader, and accomplished. He passed away at 57 years of age. But what he accomplished in 57 years is astounding in terms of his impact upon the kingdom and the work of God.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Last thing before I get you out of here, I call it fruits of labor. I got it from a good friend. And it's kind of two questions in one, so stick with me. But the first one is just, what piece of advice would you want to give someone watching or listening? You know, whether it's something you've learned from someone or something that you just have kind of taken with you. What's something that you want to tell somebody watching or listening, kind of take with their day and help them move along in their life? And secondly is, I'm really big on legacy, Pastor Carter, and just doing things that I want to be remembered for. Like you said earlier, I've always felt that God put me on earth to help people. So I'm really big on legacy. So I want to ask you as well, when people hear the name Bryan Carter, what do you want your legacy to be? What do you want people to always remember about who you were as a person?
Okay. All right. I appreciate it. Okay. All right. First one, I would say to someone today that's watching, I hope you are encouraged to be you. That'd be my piece of advice. Just be you and the best version of yourself is all that can be expected.
Yes,
And
sir.
you will make an incredible difference just embracing your personality, your style, your approach. We're all growing, but God has uniquely made you to be a unique voice, have a unique impact. So be you, be the first one.
Yes, sir.
Second thing I would say is in terms of legacy, man, I hope that my name is associated with service. That's what I hope. I hope that somebody can say, man, he tried to help. He had a servant heart. He was trying to make a difference. He was trying to make an impact, that he helped me. So I would hope that my name would be, my legacy, I hope, would be associated with service and impacting both our church, but also impacting our city and beyond.
Yes, sir. I love that so much. I really do. Again, I want to say thank you for giving me some of your time today.
I'm proud of you, man. This has been great to spend some time with you.
I appreciate it. There are certain people that I've been doing this for 5 years now, since I was 15. And so that I've really wanted to be able to come on this show and have a conversation with and kind of depict their mind a little bit. And you've been one of the people top of that list. So I'm really grateful for this. It was super fun. And again, like I said, hopefully we're able to get you back on a little bit more later on in the future too, to talk about a plethora of different things as well. So thank you so much, Pastor Carter, for giving me some of your time, and we wish nothing but the best for you and your family.
You as well. Keep up the great work, Dale. I'm very proud of you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Pastor Carter. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. If you're new, like I said, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and comment something funny so we can laugh. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. God bless. Keep people in your prayers. Stay love. All bless.